And now we come to the big moment, Megazord mode. And like I said, this guy does have a nice bit of posing ability, that is. And this is what I forgot to mention and show in the Gorilla Zord review. The chopper can actually fit on the helicopter pad to a degree, and that's why in the Japanese version they're usually sold together. They don't click into place, it just sits into place, but yeah, looks good. Let's bring them together. Okay, let's set aside everything except the Gorilla Zord. We'll start with that first. Well, unfortunately, here we go with the parts forming. We gotta rip this guy completely apart. Well, mostly apart. You take this piece first, and you take the head, flip it upside down, like so. Flip the grill down, point the wheels down and rotate them forward so it's like this. Then you take off this bit of kibble, set it aside. You take the midsection and back section apart, flip back the pads, not the pads, panels, as if you're going to transform it into a gorilla mode, split it, and then split this part, fold the wheels down, and unlike before, you take this piece with this piece, you line up these holes and pegs, and now you have feet, like so. Next, you take this guy, fold his feet back down, straighten his upper parts because he's not going to need epic posing just yet. So, yeah. And then you do something that could be a little tighter, but still works to a degree. You sort of insert the toes into the legs, very much like the Thunder Megazord, except unfortunately it can be a little tricky. Yeah, honestly, now that I'm looking at it, it would almost be a good idea to leave the legs of the Red Zord together. Sort of have it be a unileg, because this part is very, for some reason, finicky. Yeah, hold on a second. Yeah, unfortunately, this Megazord does suffer from a slight case of wonky leg syndrome. That's one flaw that Hasbro really should have corrected. There's a similar flaw with the Japanese version, but what are you going to do? So now, he stands because it's normal. And next we move on to the chest piece. We take the head off the Cheetah Zord. And then we fold up the arms in a similar fashion to how they were. I'll show you that in a second. Like so. And then you take the cheetah head and put it on this shoulder. Like so. And then you open up the visor and flip down the head crest. That'll come into play later. And you take the chest piece that we made earlier and you just stick it right on there. Like so. Next we come to the rabbit. Let me move this back a bit. The rabbit Zord. And just start taking him apart. You take off the two helmet pieces of the Megazord helmet. That's what it was for. You take the blade off the helicopter. You take the two engines off the side of the Zord. You take the rabbit head off. You split it all apart. You split the main body in two. Then you, if you can get your fingernails in there, unfold the fists of the Megazord, which, like I said, originally were cockpit windows, like so. And then you stick them where they need to go, right here. So now he's looking like he's supposed to look. Next, you take the rabbit head and do to it what you did to the cheetah head, except on the other shoulder pad. Okay. Next, you take the helicopter body, fold down these bits, then you attach them to, let's see here. Ah, yes. You attach them to this bit of kibble left over from the Gorilla Zord. And you attach it right back here. So he's got this little bit of kibble hanging off the back. It's nothing you need to worry about. That's just a little out of sight, out of mind setup. Next you take the helicopter blade and you fold the two blades forward and attach them to the one arm, like so. You take the two helmet pieces after you position the horns properly. And then you gotta sort of raise up the Red Zord's head a little bit and sort of negotiate with it. There we go. I really wish that clicked into place, but it doesn't. So yeah, you got to pull up the head of the red Zord slightly and sort of hold it in place while you put the helmet on. It's got a front and back piece, so it's very secure. And now we have the completed Megazord. As for his weapon, that's where the two engines and the red Zord's sword come into play. You simply got to be careful because the red Zord's sword does come apart, but you could just click it back together if need be. You take the engines and you click them right onto the sides of the red Zord's sword, like so. And now you can take advantage of the fact that Megazord has a bit of posability and elbow joints. And you take the sword, you put it in the correct hand of the Megazord, and voila! Behold the Beast X Megazord. And explosions and things happen because it's awesome! Once again, thank you, MGO316, for that catchphrase, which I'm not stealing, I am borrowing. Shout out to MGO as thank you. As you can see, it's got a lot of armor, big old sword, dust boots, and what appears to be a prong, but really it's an energy shield. See, those bits part, and energy forms a shield which protects the Zord. And for now, that's it for the Zords. But wait, aren't there two more members of the team? Stay tuned.